Yo, if there is anything to take from regionals, is that they're back. The experience is amazing. You'll never forget it. And even more importantly, Yu-Gi-Oh is back in real life, and I'm excited to go through this journey with you. What's going on with y'all, big dog? And it is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope that your day is going phenomenal, and if it isn't, well, don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. During the weekend, there was a couple of people that put a bug in my ear. If they topped, then I should give them a deck profile on my channel. And the more and more I thought about it is that I wanted to give you guys the information on some of the best decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! But I couldn't necessarily dedicate one video for every person. That would just be way too much. But then that's when it hit me. I can give you a breakdown on the entire meta that happened this weekend in one video. So today we're going to be going over some of the topping deck lists across the entire country. But I'm actually going to do one better. If you just so happen to top a regional event last weekend throughout the entire world, well, send me a dual link book link and I'll place your link with the rest of the links so you'll be memorized forever. This is going to be extremely fun, as not only do we get to go over some of the best players in Yu-Gi-Oh! For the weekend, we get to actually break down how the meta is. We get a full meta analysis. One thing I do got to say with a lot of the top deck lists that I've been seeing is that we've been pretty much right on the meta tier list. So if you have not seen the meta tier list, go ahead and check that out. Those are going to be pretty much some of the best decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. Jumping on in, we have Clifton Land's Indianapolis first place Prank Kids deck profile. This is pretty standard for a Prank Kids deck profile with one exception. He's actually only going to be running 2 Dropsies, 2 Fansies, 2 Lampsies, 2 Roxies, and 2 Prank Kids Place. That's going to give him 10 Prank Kids names at any given time, but this is actually really smart. Because if the numbers add out, 10 out of 40 is 25% of your deck. And when you draw 5 cards, I think it's a roughly 70 or 80% chance that he'll open a Prank Kids monster and you only need 1 for full combo. I have to say that this is actually really smart decision making, as players have been dropping Polymerization and Prank Kids Pandemonium down to 1 inside of the Prank Kids strategy, and opening 2 Prank Kids monsters when you don't have an extender like Prank Kids Pandemonium or Polymerization to continue your Prank Kids line is just another brick. You could be playing cards like Fusion Destiny for Destiny Hero Phoenix Destroyer, or you can of course play that Brave engine, which probably would stop the first hand trap but not the second, but still be able to make your Predaplant Vert Anaconda to be able to make your Fusion Destiny. A quick overview of the entire deck: 3 Ash, Celestial, Dasher, 3 Snow Rabbit, 2 Nibiru. This card was super impactful throughout the weekend. I actually wish I played hand traps for my particular deck, but more on that later. Of course, the 10 Prankins that we talked about: Wandering Griffin Rider, 3 Water Enchanters of Temples, 1 Draco Back, 1 Faithful, 1 Foolish, triple Droplet. I really am interested on how this card performed. From what I have seen at my event, that it was pretty bad, to be honest. 2 Fusion Destiny, Instant Fusion, Prank Kids Pandemonium, Prank Kids Place, Prank Kids Pranks, 3 Rite of Air Macier, 2 Imperms. Then for the side deck, there's 3 Lancia, 3 Droll, 3 Super Polymerization. This card is correct this format. We talked about it in our secret text that will win you games. It is ridiculous because there's so many decks that Super Poly can just win the game for. 3 Twin Twisters, 3 Solemn Judgment. Then for the extra deck, he takes a very unique approach, which is 1 Phoenix Enforcer, 1 Battle Butler, 1 Weather Washer, 1 Rokket Ride, 1 Starving Venom for the Super Polymerization, Access Code Talker, Nightmare Unicorn. Not 1, but 2 copies of Link Spider. This is actually really smart. First, your Prank Kids Place can special summon a token monster to your side of the field, but unfortunately, it's a normal monster. So you got to make it into a Predaplant Vert Anaconda. Somehow you turn that into an effect monster and boom. The second Link Spider is when you get Nibiru. You turn that into a Link Spider. You got an effect monster. You go right into the Vert Anaconda. This deck is kind of resilient to being able to be Nibiru. There's also 1 Bow Wow Bark, 3 Dodle Doodle Doo, 1 Prank Kids Meow Meow Mew, and 1 Vert Anaconda. Moving forward, I actually gotta show you some spice. We said that Rocket Dragon Link is one of the best decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! And we weren't lying. Nick Nguyen actually got 3rd place at the Philly Regional. And I gotta say, this particular profile is similar to the one that we put up a couple of days ago. There are some pretty, there's some differences in here than our profile, but I have to say, it's really exciting to be able to put up a profile and then a couple of days later, see a similar build, great minds thinking alike, and Nick Nguyen getting 3rd place. I have to say, what makes Rokket Dragon Link so amazing is that not only can this deck play a plethora of hand traps, it can play through hand traps fairly well. The biggest thing is this Chaotic Ruler being able to add these hand traps, Ghost Ogre, Effect Veiler, Nibiru off of the mill to the hand while getting cards into the graveyard. It makes it insane. Breaking this profile down for the hand traps, there's 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, 3 Ogre, 3 Nibiru, only 12 hand traps. Rokket Dragon Link will play anywhere between 12 to 15. I think personally that 12 is more than enough. It gives you a high chance of seeing 2, especially if you're using Chaotic Ruler to mill 5, adding 1 to your hand. The Rokket Dragon Link matchup, or the Rokket Monster matchup, 3 Rokket Tracer. I've already said that this was a correct path too, because this card is actually phenomenal and is one of the better normal summons inside of the deck. 2 Rokket Synchron, amazing. Rokket Recharger, amazing. Answer Router Dragons, amazing. This deck is just great. Noctivision Dragon allows you to chain block, and of course the Chamber Dragon Maid with the Tiding. I really do like this because it allows you to chain block with Forbidden Droplets and Dark Ruler No More. Dark Ruler No More is actually going to start seeing a lot more play. This card's kind of cracked, and Tiding is paying respects to that card, whether you decide to put it in there for that reason or not. Red Eyes Darkness Metal does come in clutch. No Black Metal Dragon and Chaos Dragon Levianeer. Everything else from here is pretty standard. There's a Boot Sector, Call By, 3 Chaos Space, Dragon Ravine, Quick Launch, and of course Said Tiding. For the sideboard, Psyframe Gear Gamma in the side, I gotta say, this is literally a goated card. This card is serious because so many players will Lancia, they'll Rite of Aramesir, or they'll use Dimension Shifter immediately in the draw phase. Go ahead and Gamma that thing, summon this monster to your side of the field, get a free negate, make a free Chaotic Ruler in this deck's particular situation, and pop off. I gotta say, this card was literally, I've seen this card pop off so many times for so many people. 3 Droll, 2 more Lancia, Scarlet Red Dragon 4 time, Harpy's Feather Duster, and Twin Twisters for back row heavy decks, and Red Reboot. Moving forward for the extra deck, 1 Chaotic Ruler, 1 Hot Red, 1 Poor Load Savage, 1 Zombie Vampire, 1 Access, 1 Hockley, 1 Dark, 1 Hockley Fibrix, 2 Heavenly Spheres, 1 IP, 1 Romulus, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Quadbro, and 1 Striker. This is also fairly standard for the particular profile, but I gotta say, Rokket Dragon Link is still one of the best decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! And Nick Nguyen is definitely proving it right with his Philly 3rd place. So congratulations to you, Nick Nguyen, putting in work with Rokket Dragon Link, getting 3rd place at Philly. But let's go ahead and move on to Vegas with my boy, homegrown George Babamirza. You guys should already know him. He's always the dude doing the cool poses in my local series videos. George got 8th place at the Vegas Regional. To be honest, I'm not really surprised. He is an amazing player. I'm actually kind of surprised he didn't get first, but I'll actually be able to explain why he didn't get first a little bit in more depth because, me and him talk a lot. And how exactly does this deck work? So Cyberse Eldlich is really hard to beat because it is a combo deck, but it's also a back row deck. So when you want to shut down one particular aspect of the deck, you still have to deal with the other. And this makes hand trap situations really interesting for this strategy. If he just so happens to draw Cyberse Gadget, Dotscaper, or Firewall Guardian, all 3 of these monsters replace themselves into another monster, which allows him to not only Link Summon into Link Devotee and Link Disciple, this eventually turns into Artifact Dagda and then a Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer with a Scythe or an Artifact Lancia of his choice. So yeah, it's really interesting how this deck can really pop off. But again, even if you do stop these monsters from being able to make his Artifact monster plus the Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer combo, he still has his Eldlich cards. And you're still gonna have to deal with those Eldlich cards, as if he opens either the Golden Land or his trap cards, he is allowed to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's why Cyberse Eldlich is just ridiculously powerful. You combine that with the Water Enchantress of the Temple, Rite of Aramesir Adventure token package. You now need 2 hand traps to stop him. And on top of that, you put it that this man plays, I don't know, 3 Ash, 3 Co, that's 6, 3 Droll, that's 9, 2 Veiler, that's 11, 14 with Ogre, 17 with Nibiru, and then 20 hand traps with infinite impermanence. How are you playing Yu-Gi-Oh when this guy has 20 hand traps inside of his main board and a whole bunch of 1-card self-sufficient starter cards? Well, it's easy. If George just so happens to draw 4 hand traps and no other things, then I mean, you kind of got him there. You'll get hand trapped to death, but you'll beat him with a weak monster like, I don't know, attack for game with it didn't really matter. I was trying to find a monster, but all his monsters are 0 attack. But seriously, this deck is genuinely one of the problem points in Yu-Gi-Oh right now, as it feels like you can just put 60 cards together, and as long as 20 of them are hand traps, you might be okay. Regardless on how you look at it, going for the deck profile, there's the Scythe, both Scythe and Lancia, depending on the situation, triple Ash Blossom, triple Gadget, triple Crow. He said that he took these out, or he took out Ghost Bells for these, and it cost him a game. So, you know, depending on whatever you want to do. Of course, Celestial and Dasher, Dotscaper, Drolls, 2 Effect Veiler, 1 Eldlich the Golden Lord, 3 Firewall Dragon, or Firewall Guardian, 3 Rabbit, 3 Magician Souls, 3 Nibiru, 1 Wandering Griffin, 3 Water Enchantress, 2 Illusion of Chaos, 3 Cursed Eldin, the Draco back, Faithful Adventure, 2 Fusion Destiny, 3 Rite of Aramacir, of course the Eldlich and Conquistador, Sanguine, Hakero, and Infinite Impermanence. I'm gonna run out of breath here. 2 copies of Lancia, 3 Nagarla. This is actually really good for the barrier statue. You just give them this and you know, you can summon it because they barrier statue you. The Gamma, oh my, again, I've seen this card come in clutch so many times. Double Cosmic Cyclone, Harpy's Feather Duster, and evenly matched. Extra deck is going to be that Phoenix Enforcer, Access Code, Dagda, Dark, Nightmare Cerberus, Phoenix, and Unicorn. Link Kribo. This card's clutch when you have to go against an evenly matched, or if you're about to break a board and you know your opponent has a clutch trap card like Sword Soul Blackout. Boom, right there. Double Devotee, 1 Disciple, 1 Link Spider, 1 Lina, 1 Vert, and 1 Celine. This deck is completely incredible. And another amazing, incredible deck has to be to Joseph with Floowandereeze. I guess you could say that Mafia Cali has one over on King Cali, because George got 8th and Joseph got 2nd. So I don't know. Which one do you guys think is a better deck? I want all my Eldlich players and all my Floowandereeze players to rise up. Post down below your topping builds. We're going to see who's going to win this debate here. But Floowandereeze is ridiculously oppressive. And to be honest, I said it was the best deck of the format because not only is it an amazing deck, people don't prepare for it. And I figured that if players get shifted every game, it's going to be a hard time. And that's what proves to be true. Dimensional Shifter is a real hard carry. But the biggest thing about Floowandereeze is that once this deck gets going, it is incredibly hard to stop. Ridiculously hard. It feels like it doesn't have any choke points, as it'll just keep on playing and keep on playing. And its chain block potential is ridiculous. Congratulations, Joseph, with your Remote Duels 2nd place build. He's going to run 2 copies of Ash, 1 Barrier Statue, 1 Crow, 3 Shifter, 3 Eaglin, 2 Impin. I do like 2 Impin. 3 copies of Rabina, 1 Stree, 2 Toucan, 2 copies of Ghost Ogre, 1 Apex Avian, 1 Ryza, 1 Callby, 3 Floowandereeze Adventure. Try to say that 5 times fast. 3 Floowandereeze in the Magnificent Map. Again, try to say that 5 times fast. Gold Sark, Dualities and Prosperity, Terraforming, Dreaming Town, and Double Impermanence. I actually do like the uses of hand traps inside of his deck. One thing that I've noticed with Floowandereeze is that if they go against an established board, they can struggle, but a lot of them run boards going second board breaking cards like main deck evenly, main deck Dark Ruler or more. He didn't go through it with that approach, but it obviously worked out for him. For the extra or side deck, 3 Troll, Ogre, 2 Cosmic, 2 Dark Ruler, 2 Lightning Storm, 2 Raigeki, and triple Harpy's Feather Storm. This can be activated when you control a Winged Beast monster, so ridiculous. 1 Elder Entity, 1 Mechaba. This is the Sin with Cyber Dragon Nova if your opponent Dogmatica Maximus is you. Double Zeus, Downard. This card, I'm not even going to attempt to say its name. Assembled Nightingale, Recital Starling. I hate this card right now. Access Code Talker, Link Kribo, Aurelius Alama, Celine, Trapegate Fairjet, and Win Verdant Tremor. You guys know that this deck doesn't need its extra deck. It is what it is, but it will summon its extra deck from time to time, and that could come up. Moving on, we do have some amazing, and I mean amazing, decks that may not be the meta decks, but are actually insane. I have Pichu, Magillene's, Kissimmee, top 4, or I'm sorry, 43rd Madolche deck profile. Now, this is a legitimate top. I don't know, or I can't remember how big the regionals is, but it was a top 64 type event. So I would assume it was maybe, I think, 250 for top 64. I can't remember exactly how much you need for top 64, but it was a huge event. And Madolche getting 43rd out of the top 64 is pretty good. One thing about Madolche is that it is ever changing, and you don't need a huge portion of your extra deck, so super polymerizations definitely come up. Also, Small World is amazing in this deck because it allows you to search the cards that you need. This card is ridiculous. I actually lost to this card at one point in time, but a Madolche player didn't play it. A Tri-Brigade player played it. It was ridiculous. But this deck is ultimately really good at being able to go second and break your opponent's board. Keep in mind, it can still summon double Tiramisu and follow up with the Chocolate a la Mode on the Tiramisu, as well as Fresh to Start, which is exactly 8,000. Really good at breaking boards. As you can see, Super Polymerization, Alpha Master of the Beast, and can use those hand traps to an advantage. All you have to do is use them, Hoot Cake, banish them, you have a good combo. I want to give props to Iron Dragon Tamayatin. I didn't think that this card would be that great. Koval actually put me on this card maybe a couple weeks ago. It was one of my buy these cards before it skyrocketed in price years ago. And players don't respect columns. So this card can be summoned to your side of the field if 3 or more cards are in the same column. Then it destroys cards in the column, right? If this card is spell summoned, destroy all of the cards in this card's column, then neither player can use the unused column. So if you occupy an extra monster zone and your opponent has 3 cards in the same extra monster zone, bow. You summon Tamayatin, you destroy everything in that column. They can't link summon because you control that other occupied zone. This card can be crazy for your deck. But a full breakdown is 1 Alpha, 3 Ash, 1 Pink, 1 Godarla, really good choice for the barrier statue, 3 Ogre, 2 Tamayatin, 3 Angeli, 2 Hoot Cake, 3 Mageline, 2 Messengelato, 3 Petting Cessor, 1 Pudding Cess. Some players have been dropping this, some players have been keeping this. Excited to see this in here. Call by the Grave, Triple Cyclone, Madolche Chateau, Ticket, Small World, and Super Polymerization with the Promenade. For the side, there's 3 Lancia, 2 Droll, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, Lightning Storm, Raigekis. These cards are amazing. 3 Evenly Matched, and Red Reboot. Moving on to the extra deck, there's Dragon Necro. These are really just super polymerization targets. Dragon Necro, if you go against Zombie World, or your opponent uses Zombie World in some type of deck, this card is just really good at certain points in time. This is amazing against Prank Kids. This is good against Destiny Hero, Phoenix Enforcer, plus a Dark. So Predaplant, Vert, Anaconda. This is just overall Darks, and this is Solomon Greats. Don't know why he was preparing for Solomon Greats. I think that's some hate there. Then there's the Chocolate a la Mode, the Queen Tiramisu, the Glass Teacher Souffle, and the Fresh to Start. But I gotta return back to my Dino gang with Elijah Barforth, topping with Dinos, boy. Dinos are actually really, really good in this particular format because if you do go against a lot of token-based decks, so if your opponent plays Adventure Token, not only can this destroy the token, but you can also protect tokens on the field. You can protect normal monsters on the field, normal monsters are tokens, and then get your plays off. So that has a really good interaction. Also, Ultimate Conductor Tyranno is at 1 in this particular build. Elijah's like, yo, what are we doing here? But at the same time, I understand. I love Tyranno, and I understand. Also, again, this card is not only amazing in this format at protecting your cards, it's also amazing at being able to start some destruction. There's actually 1 card missing here. Let me go ahead and find it for you really quick. There is True King of Disaster. Boom. So let's go ahead and break down this deck as he is playing the True King engine. There's 2 Animador and 3 Baby. That's standard. The Destiny Hero package. He plays 46 cards, so it's a little harder to see your bricks. 1 Pink, 1 Doggerin, 1 Rex, 1 Misk, 1 Petit Pteranodon, of course, the Triple Gamma. He plays a Scrap package, which, I mean, I guess that's good for when you want extra combo potential. 3 Soul Eating, 3 Token Collector. We've already talked about how this card is completely nuts against token decks and can help you out for your combo. 1 Letho, 1 Conductor, of course, the best card in Yu-Gi-Oh! And the Driver. Call by the Grave, double Evolution Pill, Dragonic Diagram. Dragonic Diagram plus a Baby Sarasaurus allows you to look at your opponent's extra deck and then go full combo, which that could be game. 3 copies of Fossil Dig, 2 Fusion Destiny, 2 Lost World, 3 Prosperity, 1 Set Rotation, 3 Small World, and Terraforming. For the sideboard, 3 Artifact Lancia, 3 Droll, 3 Dark Ruler no more, 1 Instant Fusion. That's for this Millenniumize Restrict in case he sees a lot of hand traps or cards that Millennium can take advantage of. 3 Twisters and 2 Solemn Scolding. This card's kind of cracked. I'm not even going to lie. For the extra deck, there's Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer, Millenniumized Restrict, Borreload, Omega, Dweller, Dolka, Lagia, Daggerus, Appaloosa, Dog, the Dog Charmer, Nightmare Phoenix, Linkrevo, Vert, Lambda, and the Scrap Wyvern. And that's pretty much all that I have for our very first meta analysis. I have to say that there are, like, we already know what the top 5 decks is. If you want to see it, I have a top 5 decks this format. And statistically, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be... And statistically, these decks are the best decks in Yu-Gi-Oh!, but it does not stop some of these other insane decks from topping. It's a fairly balanced format. My thoughts and opinions of it is I hate Floowandereeze. Hand traps are important in this format. Trap cards are not so great, so you should already know how my deck did, and I'll be able to make adjustments accordingly and get you guys a video about that particular situation as well. If you want to see more amazing videos, go ahead and check out these videos. Also, I'm streaming today 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Master Duel is going to be amazing, but until then, I'll catch you on the next video.